never lift your frunk again with the BeamerTech Power Frunk for the Tesla Model 3.
The Tesla Model 3 has plenty of creature comforts and gadgets to make ownership a comfortable and relaxed experience.
But they missed the mark on one thing, the frunk. I mean, if this car could drive itself, why the heck can't it open its own frunk?
Hey, I resent that.
But thankfully we have a solution with our Power Frunk Kit for the Tesla Model 3.
A relatively straightforward installation will allow you to fully open your frunk the way you normally would have just popped it open in the past.
This also includes using our button retrofit to do it. You can do all of this installation yourself should you choose to do so, and our DIY Essentials Kit and Trim Tool Kits will make this easy. Of course, if you don't want to do it yourself, you could find one of our certified installers near you. We have them in about 30 countries around the world. And if you're in the Orlando, Florida area, well then stop on by and we could do it for you. Jarrett's going to be tackling this installation, showing you how to do this step by step, so without further ado, Jarrett, take it away.
First, start by opening your frunk. Next, remove this cowl piece by simply pulling up. Remove this intake by pulling up as well. Remove this trim by pulling up and disconnect the connector by pulling. Remove the main frunk panel by removing all the 10mm bolts holding it down. Then remove it by pulling. Since we're going to remove the factory frunk struts, make sure you prop up the frunk to stop it from closing. Make sure whatever you choose is secure. For the struts, start with a flathead screwdriver to pop this retaining tab free and pull the strut off. You don't need to remove the clip all the way, but if you do, simply snap it back on after the top section is free from the frunk. Do the same with the bottom retaining clip. And remove the unit. Do the same with the other side. With a deep 13mm socket, remove the two nuts holding the strut bracket to the frunk. Do this on both sides. Next, we need to install the mounting brackets from our kit. Note they have a letter and arrow. L is for the left driver's side and R is for the right passenger side. The arrow shows which direction they point up. Place the bracket over the studs and use the factory hardware to secure it. Next, grab one of the power struts. They both work on either side. For the passenger side, feed the harness through here like so. Snap the base into the ball stud simply by pushing the strut over it. Do the same for the top, but you may have to readjust your support temporarily. Once snapped in place, you can remove your support but still be cautious until installing the next one. On the other side, grab the power strut and feed the harness through here like so. Pull the harness through. Snap the bottom and top into place just like you did on the other side. Outside of the car, take your motor assembly and bracket and attach the bracket to the assembly like so with the included hardware. Back in the car, line up the bracket with these mounting points here, and use the included hardware to secure it to the car. Next, with a pick tool, carefully remove this spring. Remove this bolt here. Now the fun part. Take the cable assembly from the kit and articulate this locking tooth into the factory cutout as shown here. Once in, rotate it down to line up the hole in the bracket with the location for the bolt you removed in the Tesla. Reinstall the bolt. Take the other bracket and line up the tooth on the factory latch with the cutout in our bracket. Push it into place like so. Get the cable in the proper position as Jarrett is doing here. You don't want it flush with the bracket, but you also don't want extra slack. Once it's just right as shown here, tighten down the two 12mm nuts to lock it into place. Add in the new spring. Now it's time to start the wiring. First, remove the negative terminal on the 12-volt battery to disconnect the low-voltage power. Next, loosen the positive terminal nut just enough to slide in the positive fork terminal on the power frunk harness like so. Just ignore the other one we have. This is an R&D car after all. Tighten the nut on the positive terminal back down and reconnect the negative terminal. Grab the main harness and plug in the power connector like so. Jarrett started to tidy up already by running and using cable ties to secure this part of the harness along this one. We're going to use this as our grounding point, so loosen this bolt just enough. Locate and tidy up the negative fork terminal. Slide the fork terminal under the bolt, and tighten the bolt back down. Continue to run and tidy up this part of the harness. Next, locate this connector here on the driver's side and remove the connector by lifting up on the tab and pushing it back. Plug it into the jumper harness on the power frunk harness. And then plug the other end of the jumper into the factory location like so. Once done, continue to run the harness and tidy up the slack. Plug in this connector into the motor assembly like so. Tidy up the slack. Next, above the bracket you installed, remove this factory connector and plug it into the jumper on the power frunk jumper. Plug the other end of that jumper into the factory location. Then, you guessed it, tidy everything up. Back on this end of the frunk, take the driver's side power strut and plug it into the power frunk harness like so. It honestly doesn't matter which paired group of connectors, driver or passenger, that you use. Once plugged in, grab the harness from the passenger strut tower and plug that into the other paired group of connectors. Tidy everything up for a clean install. We now need to run the emergency release. Start by popping off this cover plate by pushing in this side and pulling it out. Next, grab the emergency release handle from the cable assembly inside and fish it through. Tighten everything down. Take the loop and secure it to the cover plate with cable ties like so. This will stop it from falling back into the car. Push it back in and snap the cover plate back in place. Now we need to install the control module. Start by removing one side of the included double-sided tape and stick that side to the control module like so. You could remove the other side now or after you plug it in, but either way, bring that unit over to the car and plug the main connector from the power frunk harness into the control module like so. Jarrett decided to stick it here, but since it wasn't exactly a flat surface, he added a large cable tie around it. There is a location on either side of the module to feed one through. After that, it's time to put everything back together. Start with the main frunk panel. Snap it in place and reinstall all of the bolts. Snap the intake trim back in place. Snap the cowl panel back in place. Finally, plug back in the factory emergency release, which will now double as a button to close the frunk. Snap the panel back in. Close the frunk. And you're done.
And that is how you install our power frunk kit in your Tesla Model 3.
Which is easy to do yourself with our DIY Essentials Kit and trim tools, a certified installer near you, or right here in Orlando, Florida. Want this for your Model 3? Head on over to our website and enter your VIN to see if this is compatible with your ride. But as always, for more tips and tricks, product reviews, and so much more for BMWs, Mini Supras, and now Teslas, make sure you subscribe and don't forget to ring that bell. Want to know what's happening first? Head on over to our website and subscribe to our newsletter. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok as well. Thanks for watching.